Year 2004, wandering in a silver fog like a ghost. I got a call for a very important rescue mission, rescuing the daughter of the former President of America. I'm on my way to the location indicated here, a Spanish village, and and also, somehow, I was the only one sent for this important mission. Uh, alright. Back when I was still a kid, it was the golden era of gaming. There were so many titles that people loved, and this game in particular was a really big hit in my country. The story of this game is a bit different from the usual Resident Evil. As I said, our mission is to rescue the daughter of the former president of US instead of clearing the place from zombies and finding the sample of the virus or finding the serum. Now, before we talk about the gameplay, I have to say that it's really strange that there is only three people here for this rescue mission. I feel like American government would have sent at least three squad of police and a lot of professional agents or something. I mean, we are talking about the president's daughter here. It's strange that we end up being alone for almost the entire game. The gameplay is different from the third Resident Evil game. While the tank control is still there, the camera angle is forced behind Leon at the right side of him. It's a really unique camera angle. I thought this was a really cool idea. Instead of automatic aiming with limited movement, now with this style, you have a laser on your gun to aim, and you can aim anywhere. And also, enemy in this game and some animals can drop an item. It could be an ammo, money, or a healing item. It's funny that a bird can drop money. Interestingly, our enemy here is actually not a zombie. They are just a human controlled by a parasite. It's kinda similar to the idea of parasite from the first Silent Hill game. The difference is that the parasite of Silent Hill actually need to latch on the back of the victim instead of growing inside the body, and they totally lost control, unlike the Ganado here. They still retain some of the human intelligence. They can use weapons, they can run, they can use strategy to overwhelm you. In this game, you can use knife by using the L1 button instead of equipping it. You can destroy barrels, boxes, and woods by using knife. Honestly, knife is super good in this game. It really helps you to save your ammo in early game and in late game. Aside from the angry villagers, you will find another obstacles like bombs and bear traps. These traps are almost invisible in early game because of the environment you are in, which is awesome. I really like this part of the game. You can see those ganados working like normal people, and you can hear them speak some Spanish words. And also, this is a raid. There are many ganados going at you. This part can be very challenging for beginner, especially those chainsaw ganados. They are such a hack. They just one shot you and they can take many damage. And on top of that, that gruesome death, man. They were not playing around making you regret your move. Now, I have to say that I really like the creativity that this game has. We have seen the herbs before in previous Resident Evil game, but this game has chicken egg that you can use as a weapon for some reason. It's hilarious seeing him holding it. It's not only eggs, you can get fish as well. I really like how we could use everything that the village have, including the livestock and the animals around. It adds a nice detail as well. This guy is probably one of my favorite allies in Resident Evil. He is funny, he has a way with birds, he got that nice red 9 gun. But although I kinda question his interest with the research of the last plagas, I think Sadler is such a shady guy to work with. I guess he could have gone to America or UK to make a name for himself in biology. This game is a lot more action oriented compared to the previous Resident Evil games. One of the reasons is the quick time event. Back then it was the first time I've seen this kind of mechanic. I messed up real bad, especially later in the game. Alright, now let's talk about the merchant. Previously you could only get weapons by collecting it in certain places, but now you can also purchase them and upgrade them with money. I really like this money system. I like upgrading my gun with money. It makes me curious with how the gun perform after upgrading it. The guns and the upgrades are expensive, but in return, the game has pretty treasures scattered in hidden places. The game itself has a linear route, but things like treasures and items made you want to explore a little bit before moving on. Also, this merchant is probably one of the most iconic character, the most iconic merchant and NPC in video game history. He is cool. He quickly became people's favorite. He is technically a Ganado, but he is not hostile. There are many bosses in this game. Some will appear again like El Gigante and the Chainsaw Freaks, and some will not appear again like Verdugo and U3. But this one, I feel like it was too soon for this boss to appear, because after this you're going to fight El Gigante. I feel like I think we should have met this boss somewhere else. You will never see this monster again. I feel like maybe this should have appeared at the end of the game when you use the speedboat to escape, but I guess that would be too stressful. So, eh. Ah, here we go. This is the one thing that many people complain about this game, aside from the heavy action style. The president daughter. Many people say the same thing about her, be it people from my country or anywhere else. Everyone said, "Oh, she's useless. She's in the way. Why does she keep getting kidnapped? Why can't she fight? She's a burden, and she's loud and annoying. Why does she get scared so easily? She's whining like a 6 years old." To be honest, the thing that is bothering me about her is that one part in the castle where you need to protect her from the cultists. I was overwhelmed by the difficulty of the game at that point. I think people forget that Our mission from the start is to rescue her. This is a rescue and an escort mission. I never expect our client to be a professional fighter who is afraid of nothing. I never bothered by her screaming or her being easily scared. I mean, if you put yourself in her place, those Ganados are powerful. They can take many bullets, especially that one with the parasite head or something. They are scary. It's hard to believe that people expect the daughter of the president to be an ironhead. Ashley is the reason why this game is so unique, so different from any games that I played before. She creates a unique dynamic with Leon. She's not simply a character that follows you around. In early part of the game, you can order her to hide and you could focus on killing the villagers. She can also help you to reach a place that is normally too high. I have to remind you that she's the one who can help you to get that sweet broken butterfly. Now let's talk about the castle stage. Everyone, including myself, felt like Resident Evil 4 is a weird Resident Evil game, not only because of the shift in gameplay style, but also, in my opinion, because of the choice of enemy in this particular stage. These guys are cultists, and the leader of this cult, which is also the main villain of this game, is Sadler. It seems like most of them prefer ancient weapons like mace and scythe combined with a wooden shield, but they also have a freaking mangonel or catapult for a long range weapon. Yet at the same time, one of the red guy also uses a machine gun, which is really weird. And this guy is one of the villains in the game. I guess with a castle stage, you need a lord with a matching design. But still, it's kinda silly. He looks like Napoleon. Honestly, Salazar and Sadler are the same. They are cocky, confident, but Salazar is a coward. Like, right now, I'm gonna be Jill Sandwich, just like in Resident Evil 1. In my opinion, Salazar is kinda bland as a character, but nevertheless, it was really satisfying when we see him bleeding for the first time.
We've prepared a special ritual for you.
Wow, savage. Some people really don't understand the sarcasm, the joke, and the action in this game. These are awesome, man. It's gold. The boss fight against Salazar himself is really easy. You just need to stand at the right side, dodge the tentacle, shoot at that scary eye, and shoot the head. It seems like Salazar completely forgot that he is dealing with an American. We get all the weapons. Take that! Honestly, I have a mixed feeling about this. The fact that you can just purchase the rocket launcher from the merchant and cripple a lot of bosses so easily, it's just so funny. I also forgot to mention that there is something that I like about the castle, and that is the small section where you get to play as Ashley. I was shocked when you get to control her. Usually something like this would be a Cutscene or something that happened in the background. I knew this was gonna be different from Leon's gameplay because she cannot fight. We have to make use of the lamp to defeat the dudes. You can crawl under the table and they cannot reach you. You can make use of the lever to lock the dudes. I don't know, man, this is just so fun and nerve wracking. Resident Evil 4 is quite famous because of how this game is really focusing on action. There are so many quick time events, from the boulder trap to the encounter with another American, I mean Krauser. Dude, I keep dying in this scene. It's so frustrating that you have to watch the scene from the very beginning every time you die. And also, Leon is suddenly a superhuman now. The laser room scene feels like something that you see from a movie. I didn't know that Leon could do all of this all this time. The one thing that bothered me most about this game is the weirdness that you see, especially starting from the castle. Like, really? A giant robot? What the hell is this? I have no idea what to say. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen in Resident Evil game. All of this makes no sense at all. You saw them using traditional weapons like mace, scythe, crossbow, then you see a machine gun, and then a giant robot. Why not just use a gun from the start? I kinda understood why this game have so many weirdness after seeing the early concept of the game. Originally, this game was gonna be a Devil May Cry. Now, all of the ridiculous actions make sense. This game also had the concept of spirit, like the fog monster in Gothic Castle. Now we know why we have castle in the final version. I also remember someone mentioning Ashley was originally a princess with a white dog companion. Then she was reworked as the daughter of the US president, and the dog was just a random dog that we rescued. I guess they really want to reuse the original concept. No, even with all the weirdness and the heavy action, this game still have the horror vibe. There is one particular enemy that makes me really scared, even now, and I think you know what I'm talking about. Holy shit, that is a classic enemy right there. Not exactly powerful, but they are scary. That breathing pattern, that movements, just perfect, man. And it's pretty cool that you can see the parasites inside them by using the infrared scope. Now, I don't have much to say about Sadler. It's just a cliche final boss turning into giant form, and we just blast him with rocket launcher. The ending is pretty much the same as before. You have to escape before everything explodes. However, this game has awesome post-game content. Separate ways will let you play as Ada. You will learn what she was doing before you met her in the castle. Interestingly, unlike Leon, who had a pitiful gun with a shaky aim, she got a freaking blacktail as a starting gun. But she doesn't have a knife in return, just like in the cutscene where she loses to Leon in close range combat. Another extra content that I like is Assignment Ada. This one involves collecting plaga samples. This one is not canon, I think. Still, it's a fun additional content regardless. Interesting that she is wearing a unique military vest and she uses a Punisher gun. In my opinion, this game is good. Yeah, good. It introduced new mechanics. It set the standard of action games and Resident Evil games in the future. Although Resident Evil 5 and 6 were. Yeah, anyway, that's it for now. Thank you, folks.